Well, let's get our acceleration here with this Chevy 3500 with the Sport package. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over a 2021 Chevy 3500 LTZ with the Z71 Sport Edition package. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the truck. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. Under the hood, we have the 6.6 liter Duramax diesel that is paired to the 10-speed Allison transmission. In terms of power outputs, it's good for 445 horsepower and then 910 pound-feet of torque. Now for the rest of the video, I'm just going to refer to this truck as the Sport Edition. So let's go over the front end of the Sport Edition. So you guys can see the venting on the hood, all blacked out, looks really cool. And then yes, you still get your Allison transmission Duramax badge there on the side. So everyone knows you got the bad boy diesel truck. Z71 badge as well. It would have been cool if they blacked those out, but they didn't, and it's fine. You guys can see you've got the full LED lights here. So you've got all the LED accent lights with the LED reflector lights for the headlights themselves. Super bright at night. I just love the look of these in general. It just has like a really large, aggressive look. And then you guys can see, look at the letters, how they blacked it out. It's just like cutouts with the letters, just really cool. And then notice everything's like body painted here with the front end. And then you can see here at the bottom, it's all blacked out, including the tow hooks. You've got your normal fog lights as well. Parking sensors all across the bumper. But yeah, the front end of this truck just looks so good with this Sport package. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 75mm tires on 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. Let's actually take a look at the tires themselves. So obviously this has the Z71 package. You can see the tires are a little bit more aggressive. Obviously this is gonna be a little bit better with the off-road. And then you can see the shocks here from the front end with the Z71 package as well. And then notice the 3500 HD badge has also been blacked out. And then look at the mirrors as well. They've also been blacked out with that trim piece right there. The door handles, again, blacked out, which looks really cool. But yeah, the overall theme of this truck I love, especially with this white paint, because you have like the blacked out wheels and the emblems and all that with the white paint, and it just looks really good. Let's go over the bed of this Sport package. So you guys can see that you've got a full liner here for the whole bed, so everything is protected from the factory. Definitely nice that the truck already has that. LED bed lights here in the back as well. And then you do get a full power outlet. Something that I definitely like about these Chevys is the fact that they just give you a power outlet right off the bat. And then if you guys are wondering, payload capacity is just under 3,900 pounds with this specific truck. Let's finish things up in the rear of the truck. So obviously we've got Chevy's signature LED lights here in the back that they have across their whole lineup with the trucks. Blacked out badging here on the rear as well. And then notice you've got the blacked out element here with the white. Just looks really cool, the contrast. You do have the bumper steps as well. Towing capacity is about 20,000 pounds with the truck. And that's conventional towing, if you guys are wondering. Massive exhaust tip back here. Like, it is crazy how big that is. And then the other thing I want to mention is you guys can see the shocks here in the back. Again, remember this has the Z71 package. But overall, back end of this truck, again, looks really good. First off, before we actually pop in the back, you guys can see this is where you fill up the diesel and the DEF, and then you got a step just down below it, so it gives you access to the bed of the truck. And then here's the door panel in the back. So you got soft touch all along the door panel with a really nice wood trim, and then you can see a little tubular door handle. And then since this is the LTZ, obviously perforated soft touch for the seats, and you've got some storage just behind the seat and under the seat as well. And okay, I'm gonna stop saying and, guys. You got some cup holders on top of that, rubber floor mats that come with the Z71 package. And then you can see that you've got your heated seats back here. You've got a USB, a 12 volt, and then some cup holders. Now, step in height. This is supposed to come with side steps from the factory, but the side steps are on back order, so yeah, kind of hard to get in. But again, this package does come with side steps. They're just on back order. Anyways, I'm 5'11". Good space back here, and now I'm gonna, I survived. Now here's the door panel at the front of the LTZ. So again, you've got all that soft touch on the side of the door panel with the wood trim, all of your window controls. You've got your mirror adjustments here, and yes, this does have the mirror extender. So like, it's a cool party trick if you're trying to tow, but it's also a cool party trick if you're like trying to impress a lady, because like you can go, hey, not only does my tailgate move up for me automatically, but my mirrors extend out. Anyways, you guys can see you've got the memory seat adjustments right there, and then you can see the seats here at the front, so perforations all throughout the center. Again, soft touch with the bolsters, and then you can see the adjustments on the side of the seat. There is the pedal layout, and again, you've got the rubber floor mats just down below. And then you got a little parking brake right there. You've got your light controls right here, fog lights, cargo light, and then our drive line select. So you've got your auto, your 2-wheel high, your 4-wheel high, and then your 4-wheel low. And then you've got the trailer tow mode to one side, and then the drive mode select to the other side. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now here is the steering wheel in the 3500s. You've got soft touch leather all around the steering wheel, and then you've got the blacked out stitching down the center, and the Chevy bow tie has also been blacked out. You've got your controls for the center stack, your voice command phone controls as well. Radio controls are on the back. This is for your collision assistance. That's your heated steering wheel button, and then this is the cruise control on the other side. And then you can see you've got the column shifter on the back with your plus and minus to shift the gears yourself. You do have the stock for the turn signal and windshield wipers on that side, but this is everything for the Sport Edition steering wheel. Now here is the center stack. So you've got analog gauges on either side, and then you have that screen with gauges that look like the analog at the top, but they're actually part of the screen, which is pretty neat. You've got a couple different screens you can scroll through. So you've got the home page, information on the vehicle, you got your music, your navigation, your phone, and then your settings as well. Nothing too crazy with that part. Now there is a trailer tow mode. So you go one side and that'll pop you into the trailer tow mode, and you go the other side, you've got your normal and then your off-road mode. Obviously, since this is a Z71, they expect you to take it off-road, so it's cool they give you a drive mode for off-roading. Here's the center infotainment system. So first off, response time is really good, and it does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And another cool thing is the camera system. So I feel like Chevy just right now has the best camera system in a truck, just because the resolution's so good on the camera, but on top of that, there's just so many different viewpoints out of the truck. Like, you literally can see everything, and yes, those lines do turn with the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like, parking this truck or hooking up to a trailer should never be an issue, just because of how good this camera system actually is. And yes, you can zoom in with the bed, and then you guys can see with that function as well. But yeah, it's really cool. But like, literally what you could do here is basically you could just have the camera on, and you could drop the bed down, and then you could be watching that happening in real time, which I just think it's pretty cool. Which, by the way, maybe we should partake in that. You guys can see the bed popping down, and then wait for it. Now the bed's popping back up. Oh, of course it goes back down. Guys, I don't know how to function stuff. Like, I can tell you about features, but in terms of like using them, I'm not necessarily the best example. So there you go. Now, just down below the infotainment system, we've got analog controls for the radio. You've got your dual zone climate controls, and then you can see here you've got your hail descent control. This is for the power outlets. Your stability control, that's for the hazard lights. That's for the tailgate drop down and raise. Your parking sensors, lane departure assistance, diesel exhaust brake, and then yes, you've got your heated and cooled seats. Trailer brake controls just right there, and then you can see you've got a little USB with the 12 volt and then a full power outlet, and a piece of paper that tells us that the side steps are on back order. Wireless phone charger just down below. A couple of cup holders here in the diesel as well, and then notice that they've got the wood trim there on the side of the truck as well. And by side of the truck, I meant side of the center console. Anyways, we've got the rest of the center console here. So you've got the stitching on the top, and then you guys can see there's a bunch of goodies in it, and storage space is really good in general. And then we've got the dual glove box here with the Chevy, which again, pretty cool. We've got all the stitching all across with that. And then finishing things up top here, you guys can see this one does come with a sunroof. The controls for the sunroof on either side. This middle control is actually for the power sliding window there. And then if you guys are wondering on the mirror, this does have the camera mirror system. So you just flip that little switch, and then you have a camera mirror out the back, which is pretty cool. Now that we're done going over the interior on this Chevy 3500 in the Sport package, let's quickly talk about pricing. So in terms of pricing, this truck stickers for about $76,000 before any type of market adjustment. That being said, let's take this Chevy 3500 out and see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility before we set off here in the Chevy 3500 LTZ with the Sport Edition package. So you guys can see visibility over the hood completely unchanged compared to any other Chevy heavy duty. It's not like blacked out badges are going to change the visibility, right? Got your visibility through both of the mirrors, which is really good because they're massive and they show everything. And then here's all throughout the rear as well. And again, remember, you do have that camera mirror. And that all being said, let's set off. Well, we are setting off here in the 2021 Chevy 3500 LTZ, and let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So first and foremost, from a road noise perspective, you're quite a bit from the diesel engine, a little bit from the tires too, but I'd say that's average. Obviously diesels are typically louder than normal trucks because, again, they're diesels, but they're good sound, so I would never complain about the sound coming from the engine. Wind noise is very minimal with this truck, even though it's absolutely massive and it's just super tall as well. In terms of the ride quality though, definitely a little bit on the bumpier side compared to a traditional Silverado. I can feel a ride quality difference. So if you want a smoother ride, then do not get this Z71 package, because then the truck will ride a little bit smoother. But this isn't a rough ride by any means. It's just not as smooth as a regular 3500, if that makes sense. But yeah, so far this truck's pretty nice. And I did forget to mention earlier, it does have a heads-up display as well, but hopefully that's coming through onto the camera view for you guys. If it's not, it just shows my current miles per hour, so nothing crazy. Let's get our acceleration here with this Chevy 3500 with the sport package. So much torque. This truck has so much torque. And I know that everyone always talks about how Ford and Ram now have over 1,000 pound-feet and Chevy doesn't, but this is still so much torque. Like, you really don't need anything past like 800 pound-feet in a truck, and it's pretty much just overkill if you ask me. And so this truck has more than enough, in my opinion. Obviously some people might have a differing opinion, but that's kind of what I feel. I mean, the fact that, like, okay, look, I can slow down here, okay, and again, there's no sport mode or anything like this. I'm not manually shifting. The fact that I can just punch it and it just freaking goes like a freight train, like, what more could you ask for, guys? That's all I gotta say. Now let's actually get into summing things up with this 3500 Sport Edition. So from an exterior styling perspective, I absolutely love it. Again, I wish that they just have all the badges blacked out. I think it's a little bit weird that the Z71 and the Duramax and Allison badge are still chrome. But I mean, that's nothing that a can of Plasti Dip can't fix. I know, I just said the Plasti Dip, a $70-something thousand truck, but whatever, they're just badges, right? But other than that, I love the exterior appearance of this. It definitely looks a whole lot more aggressive without all of the chrome. You guys know I personally am not a huge fan of chrome, so I think this looks really good on the outside. It has a really, like, just crazy road presence. I mean, you guys saw the other Chevy driving the other way probably in this video, and I mean, the road presence on these trucks is just insane. They're just so massive, and I don't know what it is. Like, in pictures they don't look great, but in person they look really good. And then from the interior perspective, it's got all the modern tech and gadgets, and it's got all the creature comforts of an LTZ. So, like, as an overall package, this truck is just a really solid value, I think, and it's just got a lot of really cool stuff. And so if you're looking for like a cool sporty HD truck that you can tow with and also take off-road, this is the package to get. This is kind of like, not quite like a Ram Power Wagon because it doesn't have all the stuff like that, but like this almost is, it's pretty much like a Ford Tremor. It's like in that same kind of realm. It doesn't have all the same off-road stuff, but it's pretty dang close. Now that's gonna sum things up with our video on this 2021 Chevy 3500 LTZ with the Z71 Sport Edition package. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the truck. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in that next video.